morning. Welcome. Our opening hymn is Around, and we're going to sing it in 3 parts and then in 6 parts. I see how excited you are. Please rise in body or in spirit. I'll sing it once for you. We'll sing it all together. It goes like this. Jubilate Deo, jubilate Deo, Alleluia. Try it together. Jubilate Deo, jubilate Deo, Alleluia. Jubilate Deo, jubilate Deo, jubilate. Alleluia. 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 All right. We're going to start in 6 parts now. Part 1. You be, 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 you be. Hallelujah. That was good. That was good. Our world is one world. Our world is one world. One touches, one affects us all. The seas that wash us round about, the clouds that cover us, the rains that fall. Our world is one world. The thoughts we think affect us all. The way we build our attitudes with love or hate we make, a bridge or wall. Our world is one world. Its ways of wealth affect us all. The way we spend, the way we share, who are the rich or poor, who stand or fall. Our world is one world, just like a ship that bears us all, where fear and greed make many holes, but where our hearts can hear a different call.
Good morning, beautiful singers. That's you. It's all of you. It's you, too. Did you do the 6-part harmony at home? Or 6 parts? Well, welcome. I am Reverend Taryn Strauss, senior minister here at the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Atlanta, where we are here to transform lives through courageous action and soulful connection. And if you are new here today, we invite you to fill out a visitor card so we can learn more about you and make your time with us more meaningful. And if you have been inspired by this beloved community, by this congregation, and you are feeling called to make UUCA your spiritual home, we would be thrilled and very honored to have you join us as a new member. Our next new member Sunday is coming up soon. You can find more information about all of that at our website. You can go to uuca.org/new member. You can email me. just get ready to join because it's happening. It's coming up. Definitely want to let you know who are joining us online that you are so welcome. We are so glad you are joining us this morning for this holy hour. And this just in to clarify, if you are looking forward to the town hall meeting later today, that will be at 1:30 p.m. on Zoom. The link is in the weekly update. So that is the town hall meeting happening today at 1:30. And I want you to know, today we are talking about disability justice today. We are talking about bodies that are wild and holy. And if you are a person who is disabled, I want you to know you are welcome here. You are cherished. If you have noticed yourself lately feeling more fearful, more anxious this week due to violence in our city, in Atlanta, in the world, I hope you know that you can bring that burden here. You can rest in the company of people who long to live in a culture that values life over guns. And on this Asian American and Pacific Islander Pride Month of May, we want you to know that if you are a member of UCA, if you are part of this community and you are also part of the Asian American Pacific Islander community, you are seen here. You are welcomed here. You are loved and cherished here too. So today, we are talking about liberation theology for people who are disabled, and we welcome you all into this hour reserved for dignity, reserved for lifting up the worth and dignity of all people. We welcome you to this holy place where perhaps the more marginalized you are out there, the more loved and cherished you will find yourself in here. Because we are here to flip scripts, to upend traditional power dynamics, to radically engage our imaginations, and to plan a better future and a better present for us all. Amen? Amen. So welcome to Your Faith Home. We are so glad you are here today. I would like to invite Fern Delaney to come and join me for our chalice lighting this morning. Come on. You've got this, Fern. Please join Fern in saying the chalice lighting words as she lights our chalice this morning. May the light of this flame illuminate our tradition of seeking, invite all who yearn for acceptance, and ignite our passion for justice and peace.
Are you ready for a story? This is one that's very meaningful to me. Just Ask, Be Different, Be Brave, Be You, by Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor, illustrated by Rafael Lopez. Hi, I'm Sonia. My friends are planting a garden. Gardens are magical places. Thousands of plants bloom together, but every flower, every berry, and every leaf is different. Each has a different smell, different color, different shape, and different purpose. Some flowers need lots of sunlight, others thrive in the shade. Some have to be trimmed regularly, while others are better off left alone. Kids are all different too. Some of us are in a hurry. Others take more time. Some of us seem shy and quiet, while others are chatty and loud. Some of our differences are easy to spot. Others take longer to notice. Each of us grows in our own way. So if you're curious about other kids, just ask. I'm Anthony, and I use a wheelchair to get around. Even though I can't run with my legs, I can go super fast. How do you get around? My name is Madison, and my guide dog, Lucky, helps me get places safely because I'm blind. My friend Arturo is blind too. He uses a cane to get around. Even though we can't see, we strengthen our other senses and notice lots of details others may miss. We can hear with our ears, smell with our noses, and feel with our hands. How do you use your senses? I'm Vijay. I learn about the world differently because I can see, but I can't hear. I'm deaf. Most of the time, I communicate with people using my face and hands through sign language. It's cool to know another language. But do you ever wonder if people understand you? I do. My name's Julia. Sometimes I wiggle or make sounds that I can't control because I have Tourette's syndrome. People may look at me funny because they think I'm not paying attention or just acting out, but it's not true. I am listening. I don't always like having to explain. It frustrates me. But it helps when I tell people that it's just what my body does. Do you ever feel frustrated? Sometimes. I'm Grace. I love to sing and I love to talk. I love to make new friends and be included. I was born with Down syndrome. Kids like me have an extra building block called a chromosome in our bodies, but we're all different from each other too. I can do almost anything any other kid can do. Though learning new things can take some time. One way I learn is to ask questions. What helps you learn? It's me, Sonia again. I ask questions too. When something seems different or new, I just ask my parents or my teachers and they help me to understand, especially if my friends don't feel ready to explain. This is what I've learned. Imagine if all of the plants in this garden were exactly the same. Like, what if we could only grow peas? That would mean no strawberries or cucumbers or carrots. It might also mean no trees or roses or sunflowers. And just like in our garden, all the ways we're different make our whole world more interesting and fun. Just like these plants, each of us has unique powers to share with the world and make it more interesting and richer. What will you do with your powers?
Sorry, I was riveted. Okay, there are lay ministers out there who are going to help me with our movement prayer this morning. Come on down. And for everyone else, please rise in body or in spirit. Join us for this morning's movement prayer. I'm going to do embrace this way so everybody stays safe. First, we bow to honor the Spirit of life. We lift our arms and embrace the gifts of Spirit. We bring these gifts unto ourselves with gratitude and breathe. Smile. We share the gifts of Spirit with the world. We remember to be present. Honor. Embrace. With gratitude. Share. Be present. Amen. Blessed be. We would like to invite our children, third grade and under, to exit now and join the preschool or their creative play workshop for the morning. Please note the location for these are just down the hall on the first floor. And as our children recess out, please take just a few minutes to turn and greet your neighbor. Welcome them into this space, especially someone you have not met.
and grace, an embrace of kindness. Those who bless the world and those who love the world, this beauty and this rage are drawn to each other, a heritage passed on, a heritage passed on.
Leah Lakshmi Peepsna Samarasinghe is a disabled and queer activist and writer. You mean well, but when I say I hurt, when I say some part of my body hurts and you say, oh, did you do something? I hear, what did you do? As in, it's your fault. There's cause and effect, and there's a simple story. And if A plus B equals C, then we can fix it fast. But there's no simple story in this body. She falls apart whenever she feels like it, which is often. She doesn't feel like going to work or up and down 3 flights of stairs, and she will tell you all about it. She can smell the weather. She's got a lot of stories. She is 40 miles of perfect bad road. All bumps and potholes that could take out your wheel. You gotta know how to drive it. You gotta not be too worried about breaking your car because she's already broke too. I mean, I could tell you everything that happened. I could tell you we had to walk a long, long way. and get on a boat. I could tell you I moved to Brooklyn for love, but there's a lot of stairs here too. That I ran out of the fish oil that greases my knee into smoothing, and I don't know if the CVS sells it here. But does anybody want to hear all that? The staying chant, the recitation of everything that's happening in my body and their body and the park's body and on the subway huffing diesel and cigarettes. When you say it's just pain for no reason all the time, fibro, right? I say close but no cigar. I say intimate with pain tides. This ground is not steady. Why would it be? Some days I don't know what day it is. Sometimes everything hurts. Like a church bell. Like a call to prayer. And it calls me to pray this pain, breathing into any place that doesn't hurt, some of which exists only in my revolutionary imagination. Sometimes you have to talk quiet. Sometimes I can't talk at all. I feel the need to declare that my life is worth living anyway. I love every jounce of this bad, underfunded, budget cut, frost heave road. Not everyone's car can make it down. You gotta know how to drive it. I love every car that just gave up in the mountain pass. Every hubcap that fell off, every road not on any map, every rock and resisting, every reason this happened, every reason this body is reason enough for being.
Blessed Spirit of my life, give me strength through stress and strife. Help me live with dignity. Let me know serenity. Fill me with all vision. Clear my mind of fear and confusion. When my thoughts flow restlessly, let peace find a home in me.
Let us put hands upon hearts. Feel the heartbeat, connection to life. Breathe in peace. Say to yourself silently, I will love myself. I will love others. This love can heal this world. At this time, we hear the joys and sorrows of this congregation. We celebrate with UUCA lay minister Camille Cassingham, who has received a full scholarship to the Master's in Religious Studies program at Georgia State University for their Pathway to Chaplaincy degree. Please share your pride and love with Camille through phone calls or emails as she begins her ministry journey. We extend our love to Rita and Melora Furman this morning. Rita has entered hospice this week. Please send your caring and healing thoughts to her and to her daughter, Melora. We invite you to join the family of beloved, longtime UCA member and leader Alice Young for her Celebration of Life service happening today at 2 p.m. right here in this sanctuary. These flowers this morning have been given on behalf of Alice by her family. In an age of rampant mass shootings, we maybe have begun to guard our hearts against fully registering the terror and tragedy of these horrors when they do occur. This week, many of us were on high alert, fearing for our loved ones who work in Midtown. Then the news came that only one person lost their life to this shooting. Only one. Yet, each life is sacred. Each life is worth fighting for. Amy St. Pierre was a mother, a co-worker of some of yours at the CDC. She was a member of the Decatur community who advocated for gun control and an end to mass incarceration. We send our love to Amy's husband and young children, to the witnesses and families affected by this terror, and to all of us who are reckoning with the pain and anger of politicians who refuse to protect us from rampant violence. On this month of Asian American and Pacific Islander Pride, we send love to all who remain affected by the Atlanta spa shootings of 2021, and we recommit our lives to work for an end to anti-Asian violence and bigotry and to celebrate Asian American lives. May these prayers fuel our action. May we never give up hope that we can reduce guns and violence in our state and in our nation. We lift our prayers up to the universe as rays of light amidst the shadows. You are invited to say the names of people you are holding tenderly in your precious heart this morning. Someone who could use extra loving energy coming their way today. Please write their names into the live chat or speak their names, bringing them into this holy community now. Spirit of life, love eternal, we rest in holy gratitude. We surrender to a mystery beyond ourselves, asking forgiveness for our mistakes, those times we have been selfish or thoughtless. Breathing in and out, we offer grace. We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love. We honor our earth, that which supports and sustains life. We breathe in, opening our hearts to wonder. For just one moment, feeling a deep connection with all beings. Let us calm our bodies and quiet our minds. We breathe in peace, and we exhale. We relax into this space that our intentions make sacred. We enter into the silence.
Spirit of great mystery, hear the still small voice in me. Help me live my wordless creed as I comfort those in need. Fill me with compassion, be the source of my intuition. Then when life is done for me, let love be my legacy.
Good morning. A show of hands, or you don't have to really raise your hand if you don't want to, but who else here likes to fake shop online? Anyone? I sure do, and I'll explain what I mean. Fake shopping is when I scroll through an online commerce site, filling my virtual shopping cart as I page through dozens of dresses or sofas or picture frames or lipsticks or dog treats, like, because, there are different kinds of dog treats. Maybe this one helps his arthritis, this one is for older dogs, got to get that perfect balance. I spend a long time doing this. I hit purchase, and then I close that computer tab before buying a thing. All this for the pure dopamine hit of acquisition, for this momentary feeling of having won, of being complete, especially in moments when life is not giving me that feeling. I have long grappled with the sense of living inside a hamster wheel or something like that. It's a sense that I am not allowed to be content or enough with what I have, with who I am. Okayness comes with the next publication, with the next professional award or gold star, with the next haircut. Okayness is never in the here and now, because even when I've achieved something, there's always the sense of a branch still higher that I haven't quite reached yet, and an emptiness. And I know I'm not alone in this. So I want to ask you something crazy. What if we were complete? What if we were enough? Really, complete, just as we are. And even that we can feel nicely kind of distancing. So I really want you to think about this, asking yourself silently, what if I were enough? My God, what would the beauty industry do? What would the wellness industry do? What would our society that says our apartments and houses aren't cute enough and definitely not clean enough, what would they do? Y'all, where would we be without our fat phobia? without our ableism, without our ageism, all of which insist that inside ourselves there exist thinner, younger looking, differently bodied, and therefore better selves, just kind of waiting to emerge. If only we would try harder or try this new product. I won't pretend that this congregation has solved and fixed all of this within these walls. And I will bet that Reverend Taryn and our guest, Jessica Blinkhorn, will have some eye-opening things to say and show about this in a few minutes, and I can't wait for that. But every week, I am thankful to have a place to come to where we name these things, a place dedicated to working to truly honor one another's innate worth and dignity and our own. That's worth my time and my treasure. To have our children grow up in a place that tells them they are enough, that is worth my time and my treasure. And to work for a world where we are all enough, truly enough, heck yeah, that's worth my time and treasure. Much better, right? And much more truly generative of wholeness than those internet commerce sites. The offering will now be given and gratefully received. You can donate in these baskets coming around. You can donate via text, however you do it. Thank you.
This is the choir's penultimate Sunday of the year, and I did the math. They've spent over 3,500 hours collectively trying to make our services more beautiful this year. Will you just love on them for a second? Ponce ava mu pokele lava li pele maka akuba bana. Ponce ava mu pokele lava li pele maka akuba bana. Kuba bana. Kuba bana. Kuba bana. Kuba bana. Kuba bana. Kubabana, Ponce ava mu pokele lava li pele maka akubabana. Ponce ava mu pokele lava li pele maka akubabana. Kubabana, 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 Muya ya ya, Muya ya ya, Muya ya ya, Muya ya ya,
That coronation yesterday really got me thinking about choral music and how important it is. And it is such a joy and an honor to be able to listen to you at least twice a month and just to have that experience. So thank you. The way you surround all of us, lift us up with song, with resonance. You can feel it in your heart. You can feel it resonate in your chest. You can feel it maybe resonate through your week, through the rest of your days, when the work is difficult, when the work is confusing, when loneliness sets in. You can remember the way it felt to be lifted up by voices coming together in unison, in harmony, in song, and let those notes continue to lift you up and carry you through, blessing you as you go throughout your week until you return again and come back to the well and receive the blessing. We are so grateful. We are so grateful for you, for the blessing of this place, this harmony that we create here, imperfect though it may be, It is beautiful, always. Blessings on your generosity. Please join me now in the dedication of this morning's offering to the work of this congregation, which is weaving a tapestry of love and action we call community. We dedicate our lives, and these are offerings. 4 years ago this weekend, this congregation ordained me as a minister in the Unitarian Universalist religious tradition. Thank you. Thank you for doing that then and for this now, this moment. It was a day of celebrating unabashed joy and also excellence. Excellence in preaching, singing, music. We even had a dance flash mob. Do you remember that? Some of liberal religion's finest preachers flew in to preach sermons, to lead ritual, to charge the congregation and the minister. And at the end of an ordination ceremony, the ordained minister, who hasn't spoken the entire time, then gives the benediction, the final blessing. Do you remember what I said? Does anybody remember what I said as we all held hands? You don't have to say it right now, but as we all held hands that day, I asked for spirit and for community to bless me at my worst, to bless the disappointing outcome, the missed opportunity, the thing that just didn't go very well. You see, I harbored this secret, or maybe not so secret, idea that ministry was winnable. That someone would be giving out medals and trophies for best ministry, and I could someday be best at church. Encountering my own limitations was my greatest spiritual challenge. Honestly, it still is my greatest spiritual challenge. And so I wanted to ask for your blessing, to bless not just the successes, but also the failures, the disappointments, the struggles, and the times when all of us as a congregation would have to face our own shortcomings. The world won't teach us this, but the truth is, our limitations are sacred. They are holy. Our limitations are holy because our limitations make us real. And anyways, faith is not the assurance that everything will work out. Faith is holding out the possibility for change and healing. I'm going to say that again. Faith is holding out the possibility for change and healing. This is Buddhist meditation teacher Sharon Salzberg's wisdom, her definition of faith. And this is the definition of faith that I would like for us to explore today. Because what does it mean for everything to work out anyway? I mean, work out for whom? For only me? For only you? For all of us? Jessica Blinkhorn has been our artist in residence for a few months now. She curated the show you'll see out in the Pilgrim Gallery, Wild and Holy, Figuring It Out. And throughout this sermon, we will see some of Jessica's original work, her drawings, paintings, and her performance art. She is an incredible performance artist. And Jessica and the congregation, me, staff, and leaders, we have made beautiful plans together in these months. And we have challenged each other, and we have been challenged. We have not always agreed, but we have found healing through encountering Jessica's power, Jessica's presence is powerful and unique. Her art, her many gifts, and her limitations. We had wanted Jessica to be here this morning, but there were various complications that did not allow that to be possible. But we have encountered her, and we have been changed for good. And today, I think we must reconcile with some of our own limitations as a congregation. If you look around this room, and you can feel free to do so, you may find that not everyone is here. Not all of our spectacular, gorgeous, beautiful congregants can be counted as present here in this room. For in late pandemic, as many of us were struggling with disconnection, with the pain of isolation and trouble hearing each other and seeing each other due to masks, others of us are simply unable to be present in this sanctuary while most of us gather unmasked, even now. And it is true, this is why we put so many resources, so much energy into our live stream worship to make sure everyone who stays home still feels connected to us, still feels included in this powerful circle. I'm thinking of John out there. Are you watching? I'm thinking of Susan, Allegra, and so many more. And we are better with you here. We miss you. We long for you to be with us in person. Yet, we have made some decisions that make your physical presence difficult. This is a challenging tension to hold. We hope you out there feel blessed by the excellence of our live stream worship and our small group ministries and our outdoor justice events. We feel your blessing when we give away the plates at Allegra's insistence, when we greet each other with loving warmth like Susan Leffler always does, when we eat John Bolton's famous nut bread. We gather imperfectly, and that is a tension for us all. Yet, when Jessica Blinkhorn, our fabulous, stunning artist in residence who lives with disabilities, first entered this building, that's her, when she first entered this building, she said these words. She said, "Before you even knew me, you welcomed me." She said this is one of the most accessible spaces she has ever encountered. It's not perfect, but it's pretty darn good. To create a worship space that is welcoming for people with disabilities, with hearing loss, with blindness, with other different needs, that is the work of Radical Welcome. It is the work of a lifetime, and it is the work of our faith. It calls upon us to live radically into our first UU principle, the one that demands we honor the worth and dignity of every person. And in a world that encourages us to overcome our differences, it is a radical act of reversal to encourage society to overcome its insistence on sameness. Now, as Unitarian Universalists, we talk a lot about the interdependent web of existence. That's our 7th UU principle. But in practice, in truth, I notice in us, I'm going to include me in this, I notice in many of us an American insistence on apologizing for having needs. If no one has expressed needs, then how are we supposed to fulfill our holy call to interdependence? I mean, how? The concept of interdependence is grounded in the truth that all people have needs. That none of us can get through this world solely on our own. Therefore, it also means that having needs is not weak, nor bad, nor shameful. And in the disability justice community, this interdependence often takes the form of care webs. That is, care webs of people who, when you are feeling well, you can care more for someone else. When you are feeling down, you ask someone else to care for you. Because this is our faith home. This is the place where we can come, and sometimes you come dressed up to the nines. Sometimes you are showing out. Sometimes we are our best selves here. And on those days, we are great at holding boundaries, at offering others praise, at saying all the right and most welcoming things to each other. We're our best selves some days. And this is our faith home. This is also the place where we can come when we aren't feeling so good, when we couldn't find any unwrinkled clothes. We may come angry or hurting or full of skepticism. We may come here exhausted. And on those days, we never really seem to say the right thing. We mess up and all of our interactions are tainted with pettiness or insecurity. But through care webs, the networks of care are strong enough to hold us up when we are struggling and when we have needs, and strong enough to hold us up when we are able to lead with energy, and that energy is truly authentic. And those care webs are not static, they are dynamic. I always make this sign, the figure 8. The truth is, at some time in our lives, 80% of us will find ourselves disabled to the point where we cannot easily escape a fire in a building. It may be a temporary or a permanent condition. Many of us do struggle with the world on a daily basis. Either we are struggling with executive function or attention deficit or not understanding social cues or cognition or various needs that require someone's accommodation. But feels better to be the person who can offer help, because that puts you in a position of power over the other person. And so what I wish for us is, may this be the community where we truly practice interdependence, where we ask for what we need, and we serve each other's needs, and then we might trust that our own need will not meet rejection, that there is enough for all of us. At this time, I would like to introduce you to Jessica Blinkhorn. Due to some limitations of illness and caregiver support, Jessica was unable to be physically present with us this morning. We hope you will meet her, come back to UCA and meet her this Friday, May 12th at 7 p.m. at the Wild and Holy Art Party. That's sort of the art opening for our gallery show. We asked Jessica to make a video introducing herself and her gallery show to us. Here it is.
What does it mean to bloom? Beyond the edge of society, let us venture out into the wild. Beyond our soul's map, beyond the silver lining, there is an ever-shrinking wilderness. Find yourself there. We are evolutionary creatures. We are constantly changing and questioning, and navigating through a tumultuous landscape. We seemingly wait for the approval to bloom. Welcome to Sunday service. My name is Jessica Elaine Blinkhorn, and I am the curator for this year's Figuring It Out show here at the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Atlanta. Thank you for having me. I wanted to come on and just kind of tell you a little bit about myself and about why I came up with the idea for Figuring It Out as the theme of the show, and how that fits into Wild and Holy. As a disabled female, or just an individual with a disability living in a society where we're really, unfortunately, judged by the way we appear on the outside rather than the caliber of our character on the inside, I always felt like I had to apologize for being disabled, escape disability, outrun it, as if I could run anywhere. But you don't overcome disability. It simply is who you are. It's part of you. The same way someone who is born trans, they don't feel like they're born in the right body. And they spend their life trying to find out who they are, where they belong. Or someone who's non-binary who feels like they may be balanced between both genders. We spend our entire life trying to figure out who we are, not based on the fact that we don't know who we are, but based on the fact that who we know we are doesn't really fit into the fabric of the way society has a human being laid out. I've always been told not to judge people, but I see judgment every single day of my life. I was always told that God doesn't make mistakes, but here I am being told through media and conversation and snap judgments by onlookers that I am not normal, that I am a mistake. But in acknowledging those words, I use that as fodder to the fire to push me and help me figure myself out. I knew that I didn't want to be those people that were calling me these names, and I knew I didn't want to have a conversation with them or be a part of their club, but I also knew that I wanted to give them an opportunity to change themselves by being an ever-flowing entity. I wanted to be someone that could be there in one place and be an example, be a tool to educate. And that's what this show is really about, is giving people the opportunity to feel comfortable in their own skin and wear it with strength and pride. Even more so, to allow other people to acknowledge that presence. Because I don't think that we ever truly have acceptance without acknowledgement. Everyone has a story. And those stories can be wild and holy. Those stories can be long and sad, long and happy, short and magnificent. But everyone has a story. And we're here to figure that story out together. Thank you.
So Jessica's art, this is one of her performance pieces where she was in a bed in a public place and invited people to just come to her bedside and ask her anything. Jessica's art invites you into her life to face her life and her body, because she stays grounded in her body as she figures it all out. She has many tattoos. My favorite one is the one that says, "Grounded by reality," in pretty large letters. She figures it out through persistent ingenuity, unimaginable courage, and awe-inspiring power. Jessica's presence is formidable, and it has been a journey into authenticity to witness her negotiate the terrain of life and to join her for a little while on that bad road. I leave us with a blessing for our holy limitations, because they bring us closer together. Our holy limitations bring us closer together. We have been through a lot. We've been through a pandemic. We're still going through it, a public health crisis which has abandoned entire communities of disabled people and elderly people. And upon our return to each other, the truth is that many of us have re-entered public life with greater needs, with different and new physical or cognitive issues. And so I want to invite us into that very same blessing I asked of you 4 years ago. Can you bless not just each other's resilience and achievements, but can you bless each other's limitations, your struggles, your vulnerabilities? To be interdependent is to reveal our limitations to one another, to ask for help rather than to simply always offer it, and to weave a web of care so strong it can lift us all up so that all are cared for and all are in their authentic power. So we can all keep faith in the glorious, authentic web of care we weave, bringing healing not only to ourselves, but to the entire world. Amen. May it be so.
Rise in body or in spirit. Let's sing, answering the call of love.
The promise of the Spirit, faith, hope, and love abide, and so every soul is blessed and made whole. The truth in our hearts is our guide. We are answering the call of love. Hands joined together as hearts beat as one. Emboldened by faith, we dare to proclaim. We are answering the call of love. Sometimes we build a barrier to keep love tightly bound, corrupted by fear, unwilling to hear, denying the beauty we found. We are answering the call of love. Hands joined together as hearts beat as one, emboldened by faith, we dare to proclaim. We are answering the call of love.
Everything was different. Everything is different. Everything will be different. Disability justice dreaming is audacious and bold, and it will take us to the future of the world, whatever it is, whatever we make it be.
A bright new day is dawning, when love will not divide. Reflections of grace in every embrace, fulfilling the vision divine. We are answering the call of love. Hands joined together as hearts beat as one, emboldened by faith, we dare to proclaim. We are answering the call of love. We are answering the call of love.
Go in peace, everybody.